Our next guest is coming to talk to us about activity or something that was presented earlier this month when the county really focused their attention on elder abuse. So we want to welcome Mr. Hank Kennedy, who's a senior social worker supervisor with the Adult Protective Services. Good afternoon, Hank.
Good afternoon.
It's not Henry, it's Hank.
That's correct. Actually, one of the few Hanks that's actually out there.
Awesome. Well, elder abuse. I've heard about it, but help our listeners now to even become more knowledgeable about what that is. Absolutely.
Elder abuse is an intentional act or failure to act that causes or creates a risk of harm to an older adult. Common types of elder mistreatment include physical, sexual, emotional, or psychological, or financial abuse, neglect, or self-neglect. Elder abuse impacts people of all ages, identities, and backgrounds.
Well, elder abuse, I think I remember reading something about John Amos, about his daughter was being charged with elder abuse, and I sort of related to that because I'm sort of a senior citizen myself, and I don't want to get abused. How common is this, and what are the implications?
Absolutely. About 1 in 10 Americans aged 60 plus have experienced abuse.
Wow.
Without decent health care and public resources, our population becomes more at risk for abuse as we age. The impact of elder abuse is felt by people of all ages. Elder abuse also reduces older people's participation in the life of our communities, which is so much needed. And elder abuse creates health care and legal costs that are often carried by public programs like Medicare and Medicaid. So it goes throughout an entire community and affects us all.
When you said 1 out of 10, that to me was pretty alarming that it's that extensive. I didn't know that. You only hear a little bit about this, but it's pretty common. And as you just said, it impacts almost every phase of our existence as a community. That there's some sort of ripple effect that it has, and I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Well, since that does have an effect, what can we do? How can we prevent this abuse from occurring?
Well, there's many different things that people can do to help prevent elder abuse. You can learn the signs, and we can talk about those in a minute. We can learn the signs of elder abuse and how we can solve the issue together. Secondly, you can help prevent isolation. Call or visit a loved one and ask how they are doing on a regular basis. You can talk to family and friends about how we can all age well and reduce abuse with programs and services like law enforcement, community centers, and public transportation. And you can do things such as sign up to be a friendly visitor. We have local agencies here that do such things. And you can be a friendly visitor to an older person in our communities. And lastly, just what we're doing now, send a letter to a local paper, a radio or TV station, suggesting that they help cover World Elder Abuse Awareness Day like we had this past week, or perhaps Grandparents' Day in September.
I tell you, there are, it seems to be some steps, some things that we can do to help prevent this. And you mentioned that some specifics that you might want to help us with as well. Could you share those?
Sure. Certainly things to recognize and different signs of mistreatment that may be occurring. Some of the physical signs of mistreatment may be dehydration or unusual weight loss, missing daily living aids, such as they aren't able to find their glasses, their walker, or their medications. They may have unexplained injuries or bruises, cuts, or sores. They may have torn, stained, or bloody underclothing. They may have unattended medical needs. And they may have unexplained sexually transmitted diseases. These are certainly some of the physical signs. We also have emotional and behavioral mistreatment, and some of those signs may be increased fear or anxiety, people being isolated from friends or family, unusual changes in behavior or sleep, or withdrawal from normal activities. And finally, one that people don't think about a lot is financial mistreatment. And some of those signs of financial abuse may be fraudulent signatures on financial documents, unusual or sudden changes in spending patterns, and many unpaid bills. Certainly, knowing some of these things doesn't automatically mean that elder abuse is occurring, but they certainly raise those flags and make one need to take note.
Wow. I mean, this is great information, and I'm glad that our county has come and allowed you really to come and put this in front of our listeners. And I would think then, what can we do? How do we report elder abuse? What can we do if we think we suspect some of those symptoms or signs that you just mentioned?
Absolutely, and I'm going to make it very simple. For here in Forsyth County, you can call the dedicated Adult Protective Services line, which is 336-703-3503. And that's a dedicated line, so certainly feel free to give us a call as a first start. There's many other agencies such as law enforcement if there's any immediate and medical needs such as 911. You have other things such as Bridges to Hope, which is a family justice center that deals with domestic violence and elder abuse. But just as a simple thing to remember our number, 336-703-3503.
Great. Well, I appreciate you coming and raising this issue and sharing information with our audience. Any other closing comments or remarks you would want to make?
I think I would just say, as part of the tenets of Adult Protective Services with North Carolina, is one of those is it really is a community effort. It's important for all of us to do what we're doing today, spread the word. As we mentioned earlier, 1 in 10 adults perhaps may experience abuse. However, maybe only 1 in 5 cases ever gets reported.
Wow.
So spreading the word and getting things out there is the most important thing for us to do.
Well, great. And I thank you for coming to Empowering You and doing just that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great.